I guess like I have to ask the obvious question, which is there's so much backlash, I think, particularly in a community that you're a part of and really familiar with, which is like traditional filmmaking,
Yeah.
and a lot of worry about um, AI tools and how it will change who gets to make films or what films get made or who gets paid, or there's just a lot of questions. And I'm curious like how you decided to sort of jump into this versus not.
Yeah, no, again, I think it was a little bit of necessity. It was a little bit of seeing a lane, being a person of color. I'm not going to lie. I mean, of course, there's a brilliant black filmmakers and female filmmakers that are winning or getting nominated for Oscars or should be getting nominated for Oscars. But there's still a small amount of people, like especially in the sci-fi horror space. If you say, "Oh yeah, I want to be a horror director," oh yeah, like Jordan Peele. That's what everyone always says when you're a black person and you say, "I want to be a horror director." So that just tells you that there's not enough. And I think for me, my argument to anyone, and I have, big time director films and big time film director friends and writers, and they're starting to come around. They're starting to kind of see the positivity in it and how it could really enhance and give people opportunities and storytellers opportunities that might not have, the opportunity. Like I think about, if you're like a if you're like a white kid from Arkansas, like who loves making films in your backyard, but you don't have like, the connections, like you have a chance. If you're a black kid from the, from the hood, like that's how I grew up. You have a chance. Like everyone has a chance to create something incredible. And that's what's really cool to me. And then, I was able to speak to SAG directly, which was an interesting moment. I was actually talking to the board of directors through my friend Rob. He was giving a webinar on just the difference of like CGI versus AI, because there was a whole thing about digital doubles and, is AI going to replace me as an actor? And while I can't like answer that truly and really know the answer, I do know that AI is going to be kind of used kind of how CGI is used. Like you'll use AI to create large stadiums of crowds and digital doubles of people, but it's all going to be with consent. And people, I believe people should get paid for their likeness and all that. So yes, so kind of to circle back on your bigger question is, I think AI is the best opportunity for anyone if they want to become a creator or a filmmaker or an artist and create something that can be seen on a large scale. You have a great chance if you use some of these AI tools.
I love that. I mean, it's so interesting because it's so in line with things that I've felt and seen just in uh different areas of the world. And I didn't realize how directly it applied to filmmaking, but it obviously does. Like one of the things that I see a lot is AI changes who can make software. Like it dramatically expands the territory of people who are able to build stuff because it can program for
Mhm.
you. And I think the same thing, it seems to be true here. Like the cost and the level of skill maybe to get started with building just making a very very small video clip just went down tremendously. And obviously it requires a lot of skill to like build that into something that people want to see, but it doesn't require that much money. And like for me, we were talking about this in the production call previous before we started this show, and like I so wanted to make movies when I was a kid. Like I got this like I had this like Lego set, this like Lego Steven Spielberg Jurassic Park thing that like came with a camera, and you could have the little actors, and it was sort of like almost a stop motion animation thing, and I was like so into it, but you couldn't make anything good. And so then I got into like 3D modeling, and I was like trying to make a Pixar type thing, but that didn't really work because it was like at that time, you have to be a freaking genius to like make an actual 3D animated movie in like the mid 2000s.
Mhm.
And so then I started making software because like software, especially business software, you can like, you know, it's just easy to make forms that people fill out and pay money with a credit card, which I love. I mean, it's a really an amazing like part of my life. But honestly, like I think if a lot of the AI like filmmaking tools had been available, I would probably be making movies. And I think it's so amazing that like people now, anyone can just like go make a movie and it doesn't require that much money. It's so cool.